Welcome to another edition of the AK Option Trader. Hope you guys had a good week. I had kind of a up and down week. Started the week really well. Middle 2 days, Thursday, that whipsaw on Thursday pretty much knocked me out a little bit. And then Friday I got redeemed a little. Not as much as I thought I was going to be. Seeing as we have a 3-day holiday weekend today, I'm going to do things a little bit different. Maybe not have so many individual stocks, but just kind of go over what I'm seeing in the market. And you can agree or disagree, and we can see where we go from there. So we're going to go ahead and start with the VIX, like I always like to. You can see I kind of rearranged my lines a little bit. Originally I had this resistance down a little bit lower, but it seems to be forming a pretty good resistance up here. We're now at the bottom of that. We seem to have decent support right in here. You know, we broke it once or stuck our toe beneath it once or twice, but in general it's holding pretty well. Right now we're showing we're not oversold, but we're in the lower ranges down here. This is a daily chart and ended up on this nice support line here. So I would not be surprised to see a good bounce from here. As I mentioned before last week, we seem to be bouncing really well off the support line. So I would not be surprised to see a move up here and then going up from here, and we're going to have a little bit of resistance line possibly here. I don't think it's going to be that strong. So I got a cough. Give me a second here. All right, sorry about that. So we're going to have resistance line on the subtrend line to break through here. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Maybe a little bounce. If it drops through here, then we don't have support until down to 3750 area. This gap here and right coincidence right in here with this candle somewhere like that coincides coincidence. What the heck am I talking about? Let's move on to the Dow, shall we? Load up. I've been having trouble with my internet tonight, so I'm having a late post here. So you can see the Dow when you look at the Dow Daily Chart here. See, I've got the Fibonacci's on here. Go ahead and leave those on. I've got a wedge that was formed here, and it appears that we're sitting right on the wedge here. And it's a pretty good wedge, up, down, up, down. We should be bouncing off the bottom of this thing, according to this, right? Well, let's take a little bit closer look. So let's go to 60 and 2-hour chart just to get a better time frame what we're looking at here. If you look at the 60 and the 2-hour, I drew this wedge off the bottom of the tails left here, the shadows here, all the way up. Broke here, rallied up, broke pretty strong here, rallied up, hit this resistance here, and now we're hitting resistance on this wedge right now. We are in the over. We're down low on the RSI, and we're down low on the MACD a little bit, but it's looking like we might drop here a little bit. And we got lots of room in the Bollinger Band. Looking like we might drop a little bit here. So as far as the Dow goes, just looking short term, looking right at the charts, that's what it's looking like to me. All right. So now if we go back to the pardon me, got fog in my throat. You can see it looks like we're on a support. Look like we should be bouncing off there, but we're kind of caught in between two, and if you take a closer look, we're down beneath that. So that's going to become a little bit of resistance. S&P. You see I just basically have a support line, but we could draw the same type of thing going on here, but mostly with just a downtrend line. And then the bottom line is a parallel line here forming a nice triangle, and it looks like we're heading down. I mean, I don't see any reason for this thing to go up. We're beneath the 20 moving average, the 50 moving average. We're in the middle of the Bollinger Bands. We got room. Last time we tested this, we bounced pretty hard. We rallied. That was Thursday's move right here. If we get in closer on that, you can see this is Thursday's rally down here, that 200-point move at the end of the day. That one really put a hurting on me and most of the guys I know. Anyway, moving average is still going down. Things are still looking down in the S&P. If we do rally, I'd expect us to hit into this area, maybe slightly over 850 before dropping again. But I don't think so. I kind of am convinced still that we've got more down move to go. Here's the Nasdaq. Same thing. You can see this triangle we've been in. I've got some of my key support lines and resistance lines in here. We're right beneath one right now. Bounced off. We're right beneath it. Tried to rally, stop, pull back from that. According to my thought, we should be able to hit down here at the 1500 area. Pretty strong support. I wouldn't be surprised to see us right down in here, which is going to be 1497, 1500. Stall out and then drop. So keep an eye on this. We're kind of in a range. We could break out either way, but I'm thinking down low again. So those are kind of my thoughts on that. I got to looking at the futures today. And you can see it's moving down big time. 814.50. We're going to pretty big red candle here. Again, let's zoom in on this a little bit in the hour chart. Takes a second. So if we zoom in on this on an hour chart, you can see again, kind of in a range, kind of in a triangle here. We've got some pretty serious support here, or pardon me, resistance here. These are my pivots for today. We're breaking beneath them right now. So these are my intraday ones. If we break this 812.50, we're going to be holding on down to 805. Okay, this becomes resistance. So right now it serves as support. You can see we hit through it once and rallied right off the first from the open of today. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the Nasdaq Futures, the NQs. See, we're in this big uptrend here, and here's your downtrend. Here's the wedge that we broke out of back there on February 8th. Came up, had a nice rally out of it, hit our resistance, and now we're back down. Now we're moving down in some steps. So wouldn't be surprised to see us hit here and maybe bounce a little bit up to here again, 1236, and then break back down into it. So this is going to serve as a little bit of support. I don't think it's going to be terrible strong, but it's going to serve as a little bit of support. You can see we breached it several times on this side of it, and before we break back down into here. Everything seems to be heading down. So look for this to have for support. That's 1218.50. After that, our next support is going to be probably right at this cross right in here, 1207.75, somewhere in there. That's what we're going to be looking at. I'm looking at my notes. There's something else I wanted to show you here. Let's go to the S&P, and I forgot to pull it up, but we're going to look at a 20-year. I just want to show you the consolidation that we're seeing here. So this is 20 years S&P. Oh, pardon me, I meant the Nasdaq. 20-year chart of the Nasdaq, and you can see the consolidation forming right in here. And if we turn this to a daily instead of a monthly, you can really see it, which is telling me we are due for a breakout. I mean, look at that. Look at that mess in there. It is a mess right here, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and we're due for a breakout. So we're consolidating here. Are we consolidating for an up move or a down move? That's what everybody wants to know. I'm of the opinion that we're consolidating for a down move. If I can show you something real quick here. Sorry about that. Here's my market watch. Let me shrink this up a little bit for you instead of moving my candelabra. So you can see this is market watch here. Move it a little bit more for you. And you can see Japan's GDP worse than 74. Stimulus 4 in the works. It's got everything going on. Everything's bad news, which could be a sign that we're near the bottom, but I don't think so. I think we're just now touching the surface. I think we got a long ways to go, people. But if you just look around, banks lending won't be enough. Japan seeks direction. Region declines. Should he stay? I mean, everything on here. Down, down, down into the spiral. I haven't read most of these, but the headlines tell you everything you want to know. Walmart expected to post lower profits. Whoa, that's huge news right there. So I'll be looking for some bearish news coming up. Still dark at the end of the tunnel. Space low. So just keep an eye on this kind of stuff. Keep an eye on the news. Keep an eye on what's going on out there.